Hello everyone, it's Bob T. Lovely and welcome back to Everlasting Summer. So last time we found out it's that type of game, so I will do some editing, and I did put an age restriction because I don't know, I'm a little bit weird about that, so yeah. So let's go to save game and we'll continue where we left off, which is day 1. Yep. You ready for this, guys? More panty shots? Okay. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first, I didn't pay attention, as I wasn't fully awake. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Simon? I'm gonna say it's Simon. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized it wasn't a good old worn out Laz. Instead of the bus was a curious model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear, either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. Depot? Depot. I said depot. Oh my god. Depot. Depot. Like Home Depot. Okay. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery everywhere I looked. Tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer. But how? It was winter just a moment ago. My head was aching unbearably, as if I was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. A long road running off into the distance. Forest, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but how can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear, and a gap again. God, this game is beautiful. Even though there's, still beautiful to me. The artwork is beautiful. And then, okay, and then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be who? Could it be who? Could it be her? Who Wow, okay. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitated over where to go. Finally, I ran in a direction from where the from which the bus had probably came. Physical exercise did not refresh one's mind. Thoughts became clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing, trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though recalling my self-harm on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I'm neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. The exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And it's not just that. It was winter yesterday, and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot. But here, everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not what bushes should be. They are thick, that you can't see anything through them, like treetops, honestly. The trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance into the fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Roasting sinners over hot coals? That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. I slowly head back to the bus. Of course it was scary, but I'm not likely to find any answer in the fields or the woods. And this wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link I have with the real world. I should carefully scout the area. Oh, we get a thing. What it means. Cool. A brick wall and its gates crowned with Sovyonok sign. Statues of pioneers standing on either side. And the road sign nearby showing the bus route number, 410. The trip's taking a bit too long today. I smirked. A person may have start acting inappropriate in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Sovyonok. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from a hallucination to a time and space shift. None was worse than any other, but there was no way to pick a single one. It occurred to me, I can try to make a phone call. I took up my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. But instead of single strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no single signal in such a remote place, although I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus, all sides, to make sure it wasn't hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint, worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary occurrence. Whatever. Yeah, the exact kind of bus which takes you places beyond your understanding, if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically, because this isn't the right place or time to laugh. Where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to reach its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone had probably felt something similar. Aliens, a parallel universe, were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There are so many things I had no time for yet. I was so overwhelmed by the idea. This was definitely the end. But why? It's not far. It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why? Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did you do to me? Why me? My cries were only heard by speechless statues of the pioneers and a bird on the tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt his after-dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just quietly laying, sobbing occasionally. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if fear and terror of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is this for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now, seems to be no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples, and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it will only make things worse. Till some actual facts appear, there's no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything about lounging about here. This camp, if of course it's really camp, looked like the only place where people could be. So I decided to go there, and I hardly had reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down either this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. Then again, a girl here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place. Far from the bus, gates, statue. Far from this bloody bird with its siesta. Just running, free like the wind, faster and faster. Waving at the planets passing by. Winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsive ray, turning into vegetal radiation, running to the face unknown. Run no matter where, as long as I... What is that? It's probably like away from this place. I don't know. I can't see, like, you guys see that too? I don't know. Away from this place. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Humans' instinct work, independent of consciousness, while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive process. The remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular, ensuring stable function of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated, stop thinking of informal quotes from the encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue out of some hero, some junky, soft-color crime fiction book. Sorry. I needed to take a drink. There's so many big words that I do not know. A pretty Slavic face, long braids that look like 2 armfuls of fresh hair. Whoa. Did you guys hear that? In my voice? That was weird. and blue eyes you could drown in. Pioneer girl. Hi, you must have just arrived? Okay, so now we can not reply or reply. In this situation, I would have not replied. So I'm not going to say anything. I was frozen in astonishment. The girl looked perfectly normal, just like any other not ordinary human, but I still could not utter a single word. It's too late to run. Did I say something wrong? It took a monumental effort to answer. Yeah. What? Oh, nothing. I just arrived. I replied quickly, beginning to worry that I blurted out something wrong. All right then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, as if I had a normal girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods, the fields seem better. What should I do next? Try to speak with her as she's a human, or run away? Or what? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it from the inside. A bit more, and the pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Great then. Great? What's so great about that? Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget the bus behind me, the fact it was winter yesterday and summer today. I want to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept all this is actually happening. Everything as it should be. All of this is for the best. Would you happen to know? You should go to a camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look. You go straight, head to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew it was behind them. Dmitriev is a patronymic derivation of a person's father's name, in this case Dmitri, put by Russians after person's first name as a sign of respect or formal address. Well, you can ask someone over there where Olga Dmitriev in the little cabin is. Got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I got to go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. Seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep were troubling only to me, while everything here is just the way it's supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. What are they doing? Are they doing historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop an armored car in this square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp.